everybody. This is Brother Portillo, and I know I've been absent here for a little while, but I've got a Bible story to tell you today. But first, I'm going to call out roll, see who's with us. Marcos Alfaro, Nico Hernandez, Nehemías Ortiz, Emmanuel Dios con nosotros, Rendón, Joaquín Holy Cross Santa Cruz, Christian Sandoval, Max Martinez, David Rangel, Rafael Moreno, Christian Otiveros, Anthony Rodriguez, Eli Holy Cross Santa Cruz, Sebastian Suarez, Isaiah Robles, Angel Rendon, Jonathan Mesa, Gabriel Thrasher. Guys, I miss y'all. So let's get started with our story. And this story is about one of the judges back in the day. God would use judges to rule Israel. So our story today is found in Judges chapter 13 through chapter 16. So I know that's a long reading there, but it's very interesting on how God used Samson. And that's who we're going to read about today. Samson was a very strong guy. Okay, so pay attention. Here we go. An angel spoke to Samson's parents before Samson was born. The angel said, "Your son will be set apart for God's service. You must never cut his hair. He will begin to save Israel from the powerful Philistines." When Samson was grown, he met a Philistine woman and demanded his parents, "Get her for me as a wife. I want her." On the way to the woman's town, God's Spirit gave Samson great power. A young lion charged at Samson. Samson tore the lion apart with his bare hands. At Samson's wedding, he told some Philistines a riddle about the lion. The Philistines convinced Samson's bride to tell the riddle's answer, and Samson was furious. He killed 30 Philistine men. When Samson's new bride was given away to another man, he angrily burned the Philistines' fields. Sometimes later, Samson fell in love with Delilah, another Philistine woman. Each Philistine leader offered Delilah 1,100 pieces of silver if she could reveal the secret of Samson's great strength. Over and over, Delilah begged Samson for his secret. Finally, Samson gave in. "My hair has never been cut," he admitted. "It is the source of my strength." When Samson fell asleep, Delilah called a man to cut his hair. Then she cried, "Samson, the Philistines are here." Samson did not realize his strength was gone. The Philistines captured Samson, blinded him, and forced him to grind grain in prison. The Philistines gathered in the temple to honor their false god. "Our God has handed over our enemy," the Philistines said. They called for Samson to be brought out so they could make fun of him. With help, Samson braced himself against the pillars of the temple. He prayed, "God, remember me. Strengthen me just once more." Samson pushed with all his strength, and the temple collapsed. As Samson died, he killed more Philistines than he had during his life. Wow. So we got this story of Samson, and even before he was born, God had plans for him already. So he tells his parents, "Hey, when this child is born, set him apart because I'm going to use him." So sure enough, he was born and he grew up, and he was pretty strong, okay? But one of the things that God made clear to his parents is never to cut his hair. So the parents never cut his hair. All right. So now as Samson falls in love with the girl, he's off to go visit her. And all of a sudden, a lion attacks him. But God gave him strength, and he just tore that lion apart, man. I could just see it where he got that lion, and pulled off one of his legs and the other, and then the other two, and he just snapped them. And so, lions are pretty strong, okay? So that was one thing. And as he goes to go and meet his girlfriend, the dad says, oh, you know what, man, we didn't think you loved her, so we gave her away to somebody else. And he was mad. He was real mad that he collected some foxes, and he put torches on their tails, and they ran them off into the fields, and he burned all the Philistine fields. Okay, so time and time again, Samson was just showing his strength. He was real strong, like he had like this, okay? So then, so he falls in love with another Philistine girl, okay? And her name is Delilah. And as they were going to get ready to get married, he would always, Delilah would try to get to the source of his strength because he was real strong. And he would tell him, oh yeah, hey, if you tie me up with this sort of rope, I'll be weak. So she would tie him up with this rope and then yell, hey, Samson, the Philistines are here. So he would wake up and man, those ropes were nothing, man. He would just cut them. And Delilah kept on asking, oh, you're just making fun of me, and like that. And so one day, finally, he gets tired of Delilah nagging him, asking him, why do you make fun of me? Why can't you just tell me where your strength comes from? So one day, finally, he just gets fed up and says, okay, my hair has never been cut, and that's where I get my strength from. So when he falls and takes a nap, and Delilah calls someone over to cut his hair. And as he wakes up, Delilah's screaming again, Samson, Samson, the Philistines are here. And he didn't realize that his hair was cut. So they come and they arrest him and they take him. But in doing that, they take his eyes out, so he can't see anymore. And so they use him in prison to grind the wheat or whatever it was that they were doing or making him do. So the Philistine leaders, they were all happy, and they throw a fiesta, and they invite everybody, all the important people. And so as they're whatever, dancing, partying, they said, oh, hey, you know what? Why don't we bring Samson out and let's see him. So as one of the Philistines was leading them, he tells them, hey, put me between a pillar so that way I can lean on it. And as they made fun of him and stuff, well, they put him between two pillars, and those pillars are what would hold, because they had like a second floor, like a deck, and he prays to God, God, give me one last strength. And sure enough, as he puts his hands between the pillars, God gives him the strength, and he knew he was going to die, and he just pushes the pillars, and the whole thing comes down the floor, and a lot of people died. And the story says that that was more people died than he had ever killed, as he used to kill the Philistines. So guys, depend on God. Okay, we depend on God for our source. Okay. But let's keep praying. This coronavirus is a serious thing. Guys, I pray for you, and I miss you. I know I got a chance to go visit Emmanuel Dios con nosotros a couple of weeks ago. So, guys, let's just continue to pray that the virus would go away, or that God would deal with it, and be safe. Remember, wash your hands when you cough. Cough into your elbow, and just be mindful that we have to be serious about this virus. Okay, but God is more powerful. Okay, just like He helped Samson, God can help us. All right. God bless you, and I love you, and I hope to see you soon. All right. Bye-bye.